Rich, we've given everybody a look at the gameplay and just the general mechanics. Now we've got like 7 minutes of boss fights. We've got a couple of boss fights to show off. And they're kind of two completely different boss fights.
How can you tell this is a boss fight with this giant arena?
Yeah, exactly. It's like the swords in the floor. I'm like, I wonder what they're doing there. Exactly. As soon as I walked up, I was like, oh, wow, this is clearly a boss fight. But yeah, this is Pieta. And this is, I guess, the first major boss fight that you fight. And
easing you in gently then, eh?
Yeah, I actually love this as a boss fight.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, like all the moves, the best moves in a Dark Souls game are telegraphed.
Right.
So you know what's coming. So it's a lot of that. So once you've had a couple of... I think I did it on my third attempt.
Okay.
And I had a spear, but like that, you just got to go to the side, and then you have the laser one, which you can strafe. But these ones, because they've got such a long reach, but it's all about just the timing of the dodges and stuff like that. Same with that with the laser thing. But this is a really good boss fight. Like genuinely, like you have a boss fight that's like it feels fair.
Okay.
And then you're like, oh, okay, I know how to beat them. Her, I think it's a her.
Right.
But like, yeah, this is like the second phase. And the second phase is trickier. You got these these light swords, but then she'll summon like light spectres as well that do her moves.
Oh my god!
Or his moves. I actually don't know, Rich, whether it's but we'll say their moves.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just a really cool boss fight that it's got loads of many different stages. Like this is the second stage, obviously, as I said, but like it doubles the intensity. So I didn't use a bow, but you can use ranged attacks. You can throw javelins and stuff, and then it's just all about the dodge and the timing. And obviously, you can block, but like obviously that does your stamina in. But there's always like a good opportunity to kind of get in there, get a few hits, get out. But it's a classic Souls-like game that if you're too greedy, you're going to get punished.
Yeah, classic.
So
that's my undoing usually. Try and get an extra hit and I get screwed over.
Yeah, and that attack, the gliding attack, is actually like... It took me a while. That's what killed me on the first two attempts. It's like basically... like they glide and then they grab you and then they take you in the air and they fling you on the ground. So that's probably the hardest move. But once you work out like the telltale signs of when they're going to do it, it's not too bad.
Okay.
This, Rich, is the build-up to the Boglord fight. But like, look at I'm like really digging the environments as well.
I was just thinking that as you were going through that tunnel, I was thinking this looks so cool.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
The draw distance and everything there, the view. It just looks great.
The world building is great. So it'd be interesting to see, because obviously this is Unreal 5, and it's I don't know whether it's the first, but it's one of the first major titles. Like, but then they do stuff like this, Rich. It's like, you can't get me. It's right. Like, so you kill them, and it's like, right, I'm going to come across. Or are you? Are you Rich? So like, and like in terms of like, it's got the From Software feel in terms of like creativity and monster and enemy design, and that is especially with the bosses as well. Oof. So this is disgusting boss. But fantastic. Like I said, it's called the Boglord, and this is the other end of the scale. So obviously you had the Nimble Knight as the first boss. This one is the slow, ginormous, screen-filling monster. Yeah,
that does massive damage, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and this one's got an interesting mechanic in it as well that we'll see in a bit. It's got this like umbral buff basically.
Okay.
And then like you can use your umbral lantern to see it there, that little light thing. So once you've done that, it decreases the Boglord's resistance to attack, so you can do more damage, and it does less damage. So, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those boss fights where once you know the patterns, like there's the arm swipe, there's the grab, there's the jump up, and there's the roll over, there's the vomit. So once you've got those down, it's like not too bad. I only had like 2 attempts on this because we ran out of time.
Right.
But in the first couple of attempts, I got it down to like a third health.
Right.
So it's just it's a classic Souls-like boss fight where just gotta look out for the telegraphed attacks.
Yeah.
And then obviously try and use the umbral, the lantern, to kind of destroy that umbral buff that it's got.
Good nutty monster design as well. I like it.
Yeah, and that's it. And I like even like just the atmosphere of this fight in terms of like the colours, like the red mist you've got that just on your feet, and then you've got the vomit that's coming everywhere. So yeah, like in terms of design and like the mouth within the mouth,
freaky.
It's like a triple threat mouth.
Triple maul.
But yeah, if this is the sign of things to come in terms of the boss fights, like. Yeah. And, like, let's be honest, like, the best thing about the Souls-like games are the big boss fights.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And so, like, if Pietra or Pieter and Boglord are any indications, and even, like, the Hound Master from the other vid, and then there's another boss, like Sister something, that we fought, really interesting, like... Considering it's the only first like 2 or 3 hours, it kind of sets you up to think, oh, hold on a minute, like hopefully they don't run out of steam as the game goes on.
Well, you imagine they'd save the good stuff for later, wouldn't you? Yeah, and like they've been working on it for years. They're going to bring out the big guns towards the sort of latter phases of the game. You think latter stages?
Yeah, you'd hope so. Right? You'd hope so.
Yeah, you got to spread them out, right?
But yeah, just really interesting boss designs. Not really unfair, and that's what the one things I hate about Dark Souls games or any Souls like is how unfair. Like you get one tapped by a boss, and it's like,
I hate that.
Yeah, like that's the worst thing in the world. Didn't get any of that in this.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Rich. Those are a couple of boss fights from Lords of the Fallen, which is obviously Lords of the Fallen 2 technically, which is out October the 13th. On the next-gen consoles and PC. It's an Unreal Engine 5 game. Thanks for watching, folks. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Cheers, folks. Goodbye.
Bye.